we're getting ready for our next storyteller. Keep the energy going. Give a lot of love to our next storyteller, Ed Kressy, everyone. Give it up for Ed. Where is Ed? Ed. Yes.
Step on in. Get nice and snuggly with the mic. There you go.
For me, the danger loomed in the form of the FBI. I'd lie awake, terrified, ears tuned to the distant wail of sirens and rumbling thud of empty buses, certain an FBI SWAT team was seconds away from smashing down my door, dragging me to some prison cell carved in the bedrock miles underneath a mountain. The reason for the danger? In the year 2000, I'd gone to Bangkok, Thailand. At the time, I was very into the sport of kickboxing. I competed as an amateur. I got so good, I could, at will, repeatedly strike my opponent's fist with any part of my own face. Nevertheless, I spent time living and training at a kickboxing school in Bangkok. While there, I met a man I will call Omar. Omar was my friend. He was my roommate. And Omar turned out to be the reason the FBI had targeted me. Years later, it turned out Omar had been one of the 9/11 terrorists. Now, full disclosure, if you smoke as much methamphetamine as I used to smoke, you too might be targeted by the FBI. Folks, my addiction spanned the course of a decade. I went from a graduate of the University of San Francisco, a biotech professional with Genentech, a homeowner in the Glen Park neighborhood, to spending months behind bars, nights in homeless shelters, years shambling the sidewalks and lurking in doorways, caught deep in the grip of methamphetamine psychosis, certain the FBI followed me in an invisible stealth bomber. My family and friends all aboard, beaming disembodied voices into my range of hearing. I toted a loaded .357 pistol as protection against the rogue FBI agents I thought were after me. Finally, in 2007, I lived in a flophouse SRO in North Beach, a little sink in the corner where I'd ash my cigarettes and urinate. I hadn't showered or brushed my teeth in months. My options had dwindled to a mere few. I could get locked up, I could get covered up, as in 6 feet of earth, or I could get sobered up. I quit meth, but I discovered that just because you're done with the meth, that doesn't mean that the meth is done with you. I continued to be caught in extreme episodes of FBI paranoia. Fortunately, compassionate individuals convinced me to get on the road to wellness by serving my communities. The city of San Francisco allowed me to become a volunteer first responder. A nonprofit called The Five Ventures, which delivers entrepreneur and employment training to currently and formerly incarcerated men and women, allowed me to graduate its program and serve the organization. And amazingly, I was able to become a volunteer for the FBI. Along my journey, I'd become a Krav Maga instructor. Krav Maga is an Israeli self-defense system. It just so happened one of my students was on the FBI SWAT team. I was determined to face my fears. I approached my student and expressed my desire to volunteer for the Bureau. He had me arrange an unarmed self-defense class for his unit. I stood before the very SWAT team I'd been so terrified of as an instructor. From there, I was nominated to attend the selective FBI Citizens Academy. I got a behind-the-scenes look at how the FBI fulfills its mission to protect Americans. They don't really use invisible stealth bombers, in case you were wondering. Amazingly, in May, I found myself in Washington, D.C. at the FBI headquarters. The director of the entire Federal Bureau of Investigation personally awarded me a Community Service Award. I was one of 57 Americans to be so honored. I used to think that the danger loomed in the form of the FBI, but really, the danger was my fear of the FBI. And moreover, the fact that I refused to face my fear. Instead, I hid behind my drug addiction and cowered in my room. When I finally found the strength to face my fear, That's when I found salvation, too. I'll leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela. And by the way, when the storyteller ends with a quote, it means the story was awesome. Mandela wrote, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." Folks, whatever may be the danger in your life, be it real, be it imagined, stare the danger in the eyes, face your fear, and you will find that in your lives, triumph is possible too.